Welkom terug hier by Expresso, jou goedvoeloggendprogram regstreeks vanuit Seepunt op SABC3. En is nou tyd vir jou plaaslike en internasionale kindernuus. En ons gesels vanoggend met celeb expert en guru, meneer Clayton Morar. Good morning, Clayton. You well, man?
Morning, Ewan. I'm good, thanks. And you?
Nice to have you. So big news, man. Jamie Foxx is in town.
Yes, Jamie Foxx is in Cape Town. He landed on Friday morning. Apparently he's here to shoot a brandy advert. One of the local brandy companies decided to sign him up and make him the face of their campaign.
Nice.
He's been spotted in and around Cape Town shopping at the waterfront like most international celebs do. Also spotted at Cape Town train station, and he was busy shooting the ad over there because I'm not sure what the details are at this stage, but he was just, filming for like 3 days on end. He's also been at Jade nightclub, so he's been partying, seeing a little bit of the night scene.
Man.
Yeah, seeing a bit of the night scene and just taking in the lap of luxury of what Cape Town's all about. He's been on Twitter, so he's been posting quite a bit of photos as well, which is good to see that he's appreciating the mother city.
Exactly. Does he give away some clues as to where you can run into him at all?
No. If I knew the clues, I would tell everybody to make sure that they go check out. But I think he's just been relaxed. He's just come from a big, visit to France as well. So he's come straight from there to South Africa.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I heard Lyra is now back in the country, our music gem.
Yes, she's just got back from a stint in New York. She's trying to establish herself in the US and international market. And I think the US fans are really taking to her in the fact she's going to be releasing a full album for the US market in January next year. So she's busy putting the finishing touches to that so that she gets a whole new US audience to see what South African music is all about. And so far the reception's been really good, and good for South Africa and Lyra to have that audience over there. Yeah.
As I say, she's definitely a gem to South Africa in the music scene. We love Lyra.
Yeah.
And moving on to Studio Savant, I heard there's some news on him as well.
Yes, people know him from Ugly Betty. He had an 8-episode recurring series on Ugly Betty in the US. He's a South African-born actor who's been living there for at least almost 2 decades in the US. He's been doing a whole lot of other roles, but in terms of TV, Law and Order, SVU, and that sort of thing. But now, to honor the 10th anniversary of September 11th, he's produced and starring as the lead in his own play in America. And he's got such an international cast that people are dying to see it at NYU. And it's got Susan Sarandon, it's got Oscar nominee Gabriel Sidibe, people know her from Precious, Edie Falco, Chris Noth, and the list just goes on and on. And he's bringing everybody together to support this cause of, let's honor America and the people that lost their lives in 9/11. So it's quite a big deal in America at this stage, and he's just so proud that he could be involved in that memory. And everybody's dying to go and see that. I've heard all the rave reviews that it's coming up next month.
That's definitely something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
Now, we've been speaking about abusive relationships today, especially with our soap stars Mimi and KK from Mbango. But I believe, there's some big stars that's also been trapped in abusive relationships.
Yeah. I mean, it's Hollywood. I mean, those things are about to happen. And one of the most famous ones that we all know of recent times is US singer Rihanna and Chris Brown.
Of course, yes.
I mean, he's just come out of, a suspended sentence and did some community service with regards to that. We all know in 2009, the tabloids found out that while on her way to the Grammy Awards, they had a bit of a scuffle and altercation, and she suffered bruises as a result. I'm not sending a good signal to both, his and her fans, and domestic abuse is obviously a big thing, and they are such young teenage superstars. They're not even 25 yet. But I think caught up in the whole trap of fame, paparazzi, that sort of thing, got to the couple. And Chris Brown has just taken the rap for it since, and I don't think he's ever recovered from that. And I think post that abuse session, Rihanna's taken off with her career. Also, there are other couples in terms of Amy Winehouse and Blake Fielder Silva. I mean, obviously with the recent passing, people know it all contributed to drugs, and she got introduced to crack and heroin through Blake. And that's the downward spiral of what led to Amy being on this path. So I mean, people know them for getting out in public, having scuffles. She abused him. She was the one that was just hitting him in public, and he had lots of bruises as well. And the paparazzi in the UK saw that, and they took tons of photos, and she became quite infamous for it.
Wow.
I mean, they were married for 2 years. That didn't last. She's moved on. She cheated on him, and I mean, 2011, it's the passing of Amy, so
exactly.
See what abuse does. And then you look at Samantha Ronson and Lindsay Lohan as well. That was the type of relationship that got a lot of media attention. They didn't announce officially what their relationship was and the status of it, and because of the paparazzi and the pressures around their relationship, it led to a lot of emotional and physical abuse between the two of them. And then, of course, if you look at Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown as well, one of the most famous abusive relationships, she went on to Oprah stating that, you know, he used to draw these little paintings in the walls of their bedrooms that showed eyes, and he would beat her. He spat on her face in front of their daughter, Bobby Christina. And now the abuse has gone to such an extent that Bobby Christina is also using drugs like her mommy and her daddy. And she's in rehab as well. So it's just the level of abuse that Hollywood projects with fame and the glitz and the glam is not always what we find it out to be, and it's not always as glamorous as what people think it is.
Sure, that's fantastic. Clayton, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really appreciate it. All your news. Always nice to have you. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
So dit was Clayton Morar met jou daaglikse skinder nuus. Maar vir nou gaan ons oor na die kombuis toe waar Liesel reg staan om vir julle met iemand met 'n bietjie van 'n soet tand te wys hoe maak 'n mens met chocolate brownies.